Out today you have Bedlam #2, but it turns out I missed Bedlam #1, but thankfully they reprinted it out. So I decided to check these out and let you guys know how they are. And this is written by Nick Spencer with art by Riley Rossmo, and it's extremely twisted. But it's basically this, the main character is this Matter Red guy who's basically sort of like the Joker, but imagine if he, it's all from the point of view, not point of view, but the main character is the Joker, or excuse me, Matter Red, and imagine if he was kind of trying to become a good guy, but he's like totally insane in his head. I'm not doing a good job explaining this, but it's, Nick Spencer usually has some pretty good concepts, and this is, you know, no different. So, just continuing Images, you know, every week I say this, they are just putting out great books with different concepts that are not necessarily superhero based. I mean, that one is a superhero genre, but check that out. And they also have out today Nowhere #1, written by Eric Stephenson with art by Nate Bellegarde. As you can see, it's also very stylish. Like, it's got a pretty cool look and a clean style by the artist. The concept of this book is you have these 4 guys, I guess the titular Nowhere Men, but they call themselves, or they formed this company called World Corporation. They're actually, what do they call themselves? Or they've been described as a scientific supergroup, sort of like the Beatles of the science world. And sort of get a history of when they started out and where they are now, and these various experimentations they've been doing on people, which may or may not be morally correct. And one of them kind of broke off from the group, so you have, and you don't actually see him, so there's some mystery as to what he's up to. It's laying an intriguing world here that I definitely want to see how it goes on as Stephenson continues that. So another good one from Image. And just to sort of finish this up, we also have from Boom and written by Grace Randolph. This is a collection of Supurbia, which is, all the descriptions describe it as sort of JLA meets Desperate Housewives, which I guess is accurate, but makes it feel, you know, like not something you would want to read. But it's sort of, you know, you have this Justice League group, but it focuses on the wives of that group, or partners, let's say, in some cases. And that, again, that's, describing it that way is doing a disservice, because Grace Randolph has some pretty good ideas and kind of interesting takes on her version of the Justice League. So I definitely recommend checking it out now that it's out in trade. Supurbia from Boom. And kind of the opposite of that is Masks #1 from Dynamite, which features all these pulp heroes like Green Hornet, The Shadow, what's this guy's name, The Spider. I say it's the opposite of Supurbia because Supurbia is taking, you know, standard superhero tropes or whatever and kind of twisting them, whereas Masks is pretty much, it's like these old pulp heroes, and they're basically exactly what they are. I don't think there's any level of meta anything going on. So if you kind of like really old-fashioned stuff and these characters and Alex Ross's art, it's a pretty good package because you get them all in one. And then lastly, DC is not putting out any new books. You know, they're all on number 14, whatever, so it's hard to give you guys reviews or recommendations of jumping on points for DC, but they do have out today Arrow #1, which I guess is based on or ties into the CW TV show, which I actually watched once. It was kind of stupid. I mean, but I would have watched it again, I guess, even though I didn't. And this is written by Mark Guggenheim, who I think, you know, is the writer of Arrow TV show. And it's interesting because there's like no character work going on in this book, even though there's a lot in the TV show. But on the other hand, I feel like the book is moving on way faster than the show, because just in this one, in the book, just in this first issue, they have like some kind of I guess it's a rival villain show up, and there's just a lot going on. It feels like a lot more action, I guess, or forward movement of the plot than the show. But again, the show has a lot more emotional stuff, which I think you really need, because in the end, it's sort of like, who really cares about this book? So that was not much of a recommendation, but like I said, nothing from DC to give you guys new. So that's it for this week, and I'll talk to you guys next week.